Hey everyone, I'm Joe with Siser North America.
I'm Kirk with Heat Transfer Warehouse.
And today we have a very special episode of the Decoration Zone. In this video, Kirk and I are going to go over 3 basic steps to getting your own custom apparel business started with Siser HTV.
Stay tuned and hang out.
You've probably seen a video or two of me showing you various applications with a couple different Siser products. Then you probably thought to yourself, where do I begin with this? So Kirk and I are going to go over 3 general parts of starting your own custom garment business. Here they are simply put. Vinyl cutter, heat press, Siser HTV. Alright, so for part 1, we'll start with the vinyl cutter. So Kirk, at Heat Transfer Warehouse, what kind of vinyl cutters do you offer to your customers? Now, what would be a good beginner vinyl cutter? What would be a great vinyl cutter for large production volume? What are some of the pros and cons? And what's the price range between the two?
So good question, Joe. What we'll start with is the Silhouette CAMEO. That runs for around $200, and for somebody who wants to dabble in the business or very doing crafts, it's a perfect entry point. Only 12-inch, so very slow. So you obviously, as you get in, you want to dive in heavy, you want that high production speed. So I recommend the Graphic C6000, and that way you can also go to a 24-inch, and you're gain just in pure speed alone, you'll gain that as far as the money spent. Or if you just want to dive in, it's definitely a great way to go in for about $1,600.
So there you go, that's perfect. So if you wanted to begin in this custom garment business, you could start off with a Silhouette CAMEO, which is 12-inch. It's going to do a decent amount of work. It'll get you started without having that high cost. But if you know you're going to start with something that you want to do large production, utilize more material, the GraphTech 24-inch is more for the higher volume.
Correct.
There you go. The second step is heat press. Now, most of you know, or you may know, that most of our Siser HTV can be applied with a simple home iron, which makes it extremely convenient. But if you're starting this business off and you're going to be selling these finished goods to customers, you're going to want that confidence, the efficiency, and the quickness of a heat press. Now, in most of my videos, you've probably seen a red heat press. Kirk, at Heat Transfer Warehouse, you guys carry that red heat press, right?
Yes.
Now, what other sizes, dimensions, what are some of the unique attributes of some of the heat presses you carry, and what are the price ranges?
So we'll first start off is, that's the most important piece of equipment you're ever going to buy for your business. First, we'll start with the crafters as far as it's a 9x12, cute and pink. Limitations is the size. Obviously, we go on to the Siser heat presses, which you're talking is 15x15, 16x20. Also a cap press, around $650 to $750. I also recommend starting with around a 15x15 because that's really where you're going to see most of your designs going. You can go as high as $2,000 for a press, which is giving a lot of bells and whistles. 3 things you must look at is make sure it has a timer, temp gauge, and a pressure gauge.
And that's it. But you guys know that I'm a big advocate of using a heat press when you're applying your Siser transfer. This way you know that your transfer is properly bonded to the garment. Now it's going to be up to you to decide which heat press suits you. And lastly, we're going to need some Siser HTV to complete all 3 steps. Now, at Siser we have a ton of different colors, a ton of different product types. Let's just stick with a market favorite. Now, Kirk, what is your favorite EASYWEED color?
Love and chestnut.
Chestnut. Chestnut EASYWEED. All right. So at Heat Transfer Warehouse, what would you charge your customer if they wanted a 12x15-inch sheet of EASYWEED chestnut?
So for that chestnut sheet, you're looking at $3.50.
Okay, let's try this one. For the chestnut EASYWEED, a 5-yard roll at 15 inches wide, what would you charge your customer?
For that 5-yard roll, you're looking at $37.
He's good. Okay, I didn't think this one through. Let's, okay. Now, if someone wanted to do a full front, 10 inches by 10 inches, with chestnut EASYWEED, what would that sheet cost?
So, did some math skills today, and if you're looking at just using just the sheet, the approximate cost would be $3.50. If you go and buy that 5-yard roll, you're looking at you're going to drop your 10 by 10 design of chestnut down to $1.50 to $2.
He's good. All right, now we've completed all 3 steps of getting our own custom garment business started. Now, the next question we get all the time is, what do we charge for that finished good? Kirk, what kind of advice would you have to a person that is now starting this custom garment business and they're going to be selling to the customer? What kind of breakdown would you give to them to charge for that finished good?
So we already have the material cost. So we're looking at approximately that 10 by 10 is approximately $1.50 to $2. Then you go to heattransferclothing.com and you're going to pick up your garment. So a simple shirt, Gildan or something like that, around $2.75. So now you add that cost in, and then the other factor is you got to look at your labor. Labor costs are around $10 to $12 on average, and so you can figure out that cost in there too. So approximately $14 to $16.75 total into that garment. Now, where do I sell that? If it's just one, I would sell that garment for approximately $29.95. Now, if they come in and say, I want 6 of those, that's where you can drop the price maybe down to $19.95. Give an incentive to buy more. You look at your labor costs, to do one garment is going to be the same as if you're doing 6 garments. So really, quantity is key, and that's where you want to give the discounts, but don't forget about your labor and taking care of yourself.
Right on. And there you have it. Those are the 3 basic steps of starting your own custom apparel business: a vinyl cutter, heat press, and some Siser HTV. Now, Kirk, if one of our viewers wanted to start their business right now and they wanted to get all the stuff we just talked about in this video, where could they go?
You go to heattransferwarehouse.com, but if you have questions, please chat in or even call us. We have live tech support.
And like I said before, Heat Transfer Warehouse is an authorized Siser distributor, so you can be confident that you are getting Siser products. Kirk, thank you so much for stopping in for this special episode of the Decoration Zone. I hope it helped all of you out. Now it's time to start your own business. But until then, we'll see you next time.